Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you how to use a reusable K-Cup on the new Keurig K-Express coffee maker. So they just released this in August of 2021. I just did an unboxing video that went over all the dimensions of it, and I also did a detailed review. But in this video, I'm mainly going to talk about the reusable K-Cup. I really do like this K-Express. It's a very basic coffee maker. It gives us the option for 8, 10, or 12 ounces and a strong brew. So in my detailed video, I show you how to use a reusable K-Cup. The possibilities are endless with the reusable K-Cups. But in this video, we're going to talk about using your own coffee grounds. So say if you get local coffee grounds, or if you want to use, maybe they don't make a K-Cup in this or something, but you can buy coffee grounds that are ground at a medium grind for like a normal drip coffee maker. That's what you would want to buy. And today I'm going to be showing you two different types. So Keurig sells a My K-Cup. It's $10. It's a very nice product. Here it is. I'll be showing you this. I'll also be showing you these. These are kind of like generic. Other companies make these. Perfect Pod, Deli Brew, iParts and stuff different companies make. But these are just reusable K-Cups. They've got like a wire mesh. You put your coffee grounds in here, you close this lid. There's a place for the needle to go in. It's got a recessed area here for the bottom needle. So these are the exact same size as a normal K-Cup. But you'll see this is quite a bit different, and we've got to remove the lower needle basket. So let's just talk real quick. So a K-Cup. A K-Cup has 2 tablespoons of coffee grounds in it. I've measured them. That's the most you can get into a K-Cup. And the coffee grounds are in a paper filter inside the K-Cup. And then you can see how the top needle punctures the foil, then the bottom needle punctures the bottom of it. So when I use one of these pods that look just like a K-Cup, I'm going to leave this needle basket in. And see that lower needle? There's a recessed area. That lower needle doesn't puncture this. It sits there, make sure it's nice and flush, and then this top needle is going to go right in there. Now I do find sometimes the handles you do have to kind of turn these a little bit sometimes. The handles are a little bit stiffer than when you put a normal K-Cup in. Let's try it. So make sure the lid is down all the way. And I'm going to show you with coffee. I just want to show you right now. So there you go. So I also like this Perfect Pods, this Easy Scoop from Perfect Pod. It holds exactly 2 tablespoons of coffee, which is what these K-Cups hold. And you don't have to, but you can buy paper filters that go inside these reusable K-Cups. You don't have to. This filter material will keep the coffee grounds out of your coffee, but you do get a little bit of sediment in your coffee, which you may notice that when you drink it down towards the bottom, you'll see just a little bit of sediment in the bottom of your cup, which you may not be used to, because in a K-Cup, they've got that paper filter which prevents sediment. So if you want to prevent sediment, they sell these, and these are form-fitting. You just push it down in. Oh, it's got some coffee. You just push them down in, make sure they're in all the way, and then we're going to put our coffee in there and then close the lid. So this first one I'll brew with the reusable the paper filter, and then I'll do one without the paper filter. So the nice thing about this Easy Scoop is I can just grab my coffee, and then it's easy to go down in there, scoop it out, throw this on there, and then a viewer just taught me this to go like that. And then we're going to put the coffee grounds into the K-Cup. Okay, so I've got my 2 tablespoons of coffee. Again, there's what the medium grind looks like. If your coffee is ground too fine, water will not go through the K-Cup. It'll leak out around the machine. If it's ground too coarse, your coffee will be way too watered down. So the grind of your coffee has a lot to do with how it's going to taste. And we get our K-Cup here. Now it's okay if it mounds up a little bit. You don't want to compact this at all. We just want to make sure we don't get any coffee between the lid and the holder. So when I push this down, okay, No coffee grounds underneath the lid. See how that's completely flat? And there's no coffee grounds on the outside of the K-Cup. They will make their way into your coffee. You may get a little few coffee grounds there, but that's fine. So now you're simply going to come over here. You're going to treat this like a normal K-Cup. Again, these machines, sometimes you have to turn this just a little bit. Make sure the lid is all the way down. You don't want to force this handle. So it's a little bit tighter than normal. Miss Fiona likes to help me with my reviews. So I've got my handle down. Now I like to do 8 ounces. You can run 10 ounces through there or 12, but I like to do just 8. Okay, we can see the coffee's coming out. This is a very quick coffee maker, very quiet. Now it does get a little bit weaker towards the end, so you do want to stir these coffees before you drink them. Okay, so all my coffee came out of where it's supposed to. If you get water leaking out around here, that means something's not right. You could have the coffee grounds compacted in there too tightly, and then the water starts to come out around the top and then around the side. So make sure your coffee grounds are at a medium grind, and that's a really good tasting cup of coffee. Again, 8 ounces is the minimum. So if that's watered down to you, other than adjusting the coffee grind, there may not be much more that you can do. The nice thing about this other K-Express is it does at least give you the 6 ounce option. But on this one, I only get the 8 ounce option. So some viewers do complain that that is pretty watered down. I think it tastes like a pretty good cup of coffee. So let's go over cleanup. You're just going to lift this handle. Be careful, these can be hot. So cleanup is a little tricky on these. What's nice about that reusable filter is everything does kind of come out at once, but there's all the coffee in the filter. You do have to kind of rinse this out a little bit still. You will get some coffee grounds into your sink a little bit. Okay, so I said let's brew another one. I've got my 2 tablespoons of coffee. This is the perfect pod. This one's usually sold at Walmart. So go like this and then just dump it upside down. And then it's going to mound up on you a little bit. That's okay. That's quite a bit of coffee. So you don't want any coffee grounds. That might have been just a little bit more than 2 tablespoons. So these can get a little messy, but you can't have any coffee grounds. So when I push that down, I don't want any, see I'm getting some coffee grounds around. That's not good. Got to clean those out. So I got to start over on this one. You don't want any coffee grounds on this lid or it will leak. It's very hard. I must have had too much coffee in the scoop. Thought I had 2 tablespoons. Okay, looks like I got it. Hopefully it's not going to leak. There's no coffee grounds on the outside. They will make their way into your cup. Again, we take it over here. We treat it just like a normal. Now on these, I do like, you do get some coffee grounds right in that little area on this perfect pod. Come over here. This handle should close nice and easy. That just hiccuped a little bit. Nothing too bad. And again, I like to do 8 ounce. Okay, looks like we got a nice strong brew at the first. I do think the coffee tastes a little bit better when you don't have the paper filter. And our coffee's done. We didn't get any water leaking out around the side of the machine, coming out where it shouldn't. It all came out that bottom basket area. So we lift it up. There's our reusable K-Cup. And that's a very good tasting cup of coffee. So again, be careful. Cleanup on this one can be a little more tricky because you're going to have quite a few more coffee grounds in here. So see, I got all the coffee grounds out. You do have to kind of get a brush and brush these. It can be kind of tricky to get those coffee grounds out, but there's the brewed coffee grounds. Okay, so now let's talk about the My K-Cup. The first thing you're going to notice is, if this is brand new, take this gray plastic thing off. You do not need this. There'll be a piece of tape here that you got to cut. This is for a older Keurig machine. So here we're just going to need this. Now you may have one that doesn't have these. This is for the K Supreme also. You may have one of these with just a single needle. That's fine. But we're going to be concentrating on these 2 white dots. We're going to go turn this lid to the unlock position and it'll come apart. This is just kind of holder. This just pops off. This is where we're going to put the coffee. There is a max line. It holds just a little over 2 tablespoons. But here's the important thing. So for the K Supreme, we take this out and it's got 5 needles that get poked into the K-Cup. But for this machine, we want to make sure this red thing is installed. Otherwise, you'll get coffee grounds coming out those other 4 holes. So we're going to put our 2 tablespoons of coffee in here. So again, I got my 2 tablespoons. I put the lid on. Dump it in. Don't go above the max line. Okay. Then you're just going to set it in this black thing. Now you're going to line up the white dots. So line the white dots up, and that's on the unlock position. Push this down, this lid. As you're pushing down, turn it to the lock. It'll snap. And now make sure it's locked all the way around, because this sometimes does go out of track. So make sure you check that. So here we have our reusable K-Cup. So unlike the other ones, we have to remove this lower needle basket area. Now be careful, the needle is down in there, but we're going to poke from the bottom. There's nothing sharp on the bottom. It can be hot. So just poke from the bottom, and then this whole needle basket will come out. We're just going to remove that whole needle basket, set it off to the side. And now we've got our reusable K-Cup. It will only fit one way. It's got the arrow that goes towards like the hinge. So if you don't have it installed right, this handle will not close. So make sure it's kind of down and flush. Okay. And then when I close the handle, it's very easy to close. If it's not wanting to close, something's not right. And then I just do these on 8 ounce also. Do an 8 ounce brew. Now something I didn't show you is you cannot use these paper filters on this reusable K-Cup. That's just like a wire mesh filter. It keeps the coffee grounds out, but you will get a little bit of sediment in your coffee. It's coming out of the bottom. You should only get water coming out of the bottom of that reusable K-Cup. If it's coming out around the sides here, something's wrong. Okay, there you've got a fresh cup of coffee using your own coffee grounds. And again, this tastes very good. This is a very good cup of coffee. So let's go over cleanup now. You're just going to lift this up. You may get a little bit of water on top of here. Be careful again, these can be hot, but you've got to take this whole unit out. You're going to turn this now to the unlock position. This bottom part comes off. Pull this top. This is really hot, so be careful. Well, we can see there's what it did. And there's the coffee grounds. And you do have to clean this up. And it's better to have like a brush to get in there and kind of brush that with some soap and water. And same with this, you've got to rinse this out and wash that sometimes. And same with this. Okay, so now I'm going to dump this coffee out. This was the first one we did with a paper filter, and it does not contain sediment. Okay, let's dump it out. You can see down in there, there's no sediment. Now this second one, this cup of coffee, we did not use a paper filter. We just put the coffee in there. So there's that sediment. Now, it doesn't look the best, but it tastes okay. And normally you drink your coffee pretty quick and you don't let it sit, but there's that sediment. I do think it tastes a little bit better with that. And again, with the reusable, this last one is with the reusable My K-Cup. And again, it just has that wire mesh filter, no paper filter. This hasn't set very long, but we do get some sediment in there. And again, you will not get, when you do just a normal K-Cup, there's a paper filter in K-Cups. That's why you don't see sediment when you're just doing normal K-Cups. So when you switch to reusable K-Cups and you don't use a paper filter, you may see some sediment in your coffee. And that's what it's from. So thanks everybody for watching. I'll put a link to all of these reusable K-Cups in my show description notes. I'll put a link to the scoop, to the My K-Cup, to these purple ones that are like generic cheap ones. I am an Amazon affiliate. If you do click on those links and purchase the product, I do get a little bit of money from that. The products don't cost you anymore, but it is a way of showing support for my channel. I buy all my own products and coffee with my own money. I don't have anything sent to me for free. I really enjoy doing these videos. Everybody's been very supportive. And if you could, please like and subscribe. My next video I'm going to be doing, I'll show you how to descale this. So when your descale light, I'll show you how to put it into descale mode and descale it. I'm going to do an iced coffee. I'm going to do a comparison. So they made another K-Express Essentials, sold only at Walmart for $55. This is a really good deal. And I'll show you how to add a water filter to this. Thanks again for watching, and if you could, please like and subscribe.